life.
Are you like into drawing beans?
No, never before. This might be the only bean I've ever drawn.
That is
But
epic.
it's the
I
best.
couldn't possibly draw a better bean.
I can't draw beans. I can't even draw a cat.
I can't draw a cat.
I mean,
beans and cats
wouldn't a
even in the
bean
same
be
realm, man?
okay?
Like toe beans? Like cat have toe beans, right? Have you all seen that?
Yeah,
Where you
jelly
flip their
beans.
paw. Yeah, you flip their paw upside down and give it 2 eyes, and it looks like a teddy bear.
Hot
Yeah.
damn, I love me some jelly beans.
I like cat toe beans when they're really warm.
Whenever you dumbasses are ready, I don't even know what you're talking about.
We're ready.
Talking about cat jelly bean toes.
Dude,
Yeah.
man,
Jelly
Get with the flow. Get with
who's
the
got the
flow, man.
bellies?
He's got the jelly bellies.
Do the...
The order is Pascal, Zach, TJ West, so we don't forget.
Oh, I know that.
5, 4, 3.
Hello, you nerds, and welcome to episode 31 of the SideQuest Gaming Podcast, a weekly podcast where 4 longtime friends sit around and talk about video games, TV shows, movies, and whatever the hell else they feel like talking about on any given day. As always, I'm your host. My name is Wes. Up above me, you have the German Pascal. Say hi.
Hi.
To his
Zach.
right, you have Zach.
Zach, the sewer
Attack.
spider.
And below him,
The
next to me,
medieval fighting wonder.
you have the Sasquatch Nugget, Terry.
I was penis stain.
Of
Oh,
no,
yeah, I'm not
saying.
Pascal.
You're saying
What?
alright,
Penis
goodbye.
stain?
Orangutan?
Penis thing.
What?
What with
Penis
the penis?
I love orangutan.
Not a penis stain.
Orangutan
no
penis stain. Okay.
Penis
There's
stain.
the episode title right there.
Orangutan penis stain. You heard it
We're
here
gonna get
first.
so many views. It's gonna be
T-shirts.
just like the camel toe episode.
Exactly. Exactly. What's going on, everybody in chat? We're here. We got a big spoiler episode for you tonight. We're going to be talking about some Game of Thrones. We're going to do a non-spoiler talk about Avengers Endgame. At least we're going to try to keep it non-spoilers. And then next week we're going to talk spoilers on Avengers Endgame. But before we do any of that, it's the time of the show where we play a game of catch-up, where we tell everybody what we've been doing for the last week or two. And to get us started off, first, as always, is... shit, Pascal.
Above you.
There you go. Hi.
The king of the north.
I'm the king of the north. Yeah, I played a lot of games. I lost count of what I played. Played a lot of NBA. I finally gave in and bought the 2K19, and I actually like it. It's a good basketball game.
Question. Did you like the NBA before you came to America?
I knew about it, and I knew it was a big deal because Dirk Nowitzki from Dallas Mavericks, he's German, so I kind of, and the Atlanta, no, I don't know where he's playing now, Oklahoma, the Dennis Schroeder guy, he's German too. So it's kind of like there's like some big names out there, and it was a big thing, but it's more like the second or third biggest sport in Germany, so I didn't follow it, I guess.
You already know more
enjoy
basketball players than I do.
Oh, okay, well, two, maybe, I mean, LeBron and some of them. I did not really play a game. I played NBA Live 2005 was the last basketball game I played. And then when I got to the US through Wes, I think I tried more because we game share on Xbox. So I tried more of the 2K NBA games. And I haven't played an NBA game since 2016, I think. And it was pretty awesome. I like it. I mean, I don't play the online mode, so I don't care if it's like unbalanced or something, or people do us pay to win, because I just play the single player part of it, and I enjoy it. I mean, I get better and better each game. Like, I sucked big time at the beginning, and all of a sudden I had like, you know, whatever it's called, the triple double or whatever it is.
Ooh, coming down with a triple double.
And then I up the difficulty, so I get better and better, so I highly enjoy it. So if just for me being casual, like NBA fan, like I don't really follow that much, but just to enjoy the sport, I guess it's pretty fun. It's probably one of the best sports games I played, actually. And then I did play some Days Gone. I kind of stopped playing it though because I wanted to play a little bit more NBA because I was kind of hooked to that. But definitely will continue playing that. I played 1 or 2 hours of Battlefield 5. Just kind of, it's Battlefield. I kind of take a break of it because I had like 200 hours in, so I kind of just wait until they add more stuff just to kind of get a fresh air in it. But I just kind of need a break from it. I can't play the same game for long periods of time. It just gets boring at one point. And I got too frustrated. I noticed little things that frustrate me and that I didn't notice when I took more breaks of it.
How many hours do you have in Battlefield 5?
200 since launch. 220, I think.
Okay.
So it's a fair number. I mean, there are people probably 500 hours, but also have a job. So I
10
work and
fucking days straight.
yeah. So it's
I have like
I like
over
the-
900 in PUBG.
yeah. But but that's kind of like
How much of
I
that's
don't
sitting
know.
around waiting for a room?
in
Waiting on your-
Battlefield.
No, his
Battle-
900 hours.
Oh well, Battlefield is. I know with Battlefield, it's like actual
Oh.
game time. So
Does it only track actual game time?
yeah. So I have a lot of hours in already for working full time and trying to do other things besides too, and I do game a lot. But I don't know, I got to a point with Battlefield where I kind of need a break. I don't know if you guys have been there where you just like played this one game so much where you're just like, okay, I love the game. I like to play with people, but I'm kind of like burned out in that matter. I think it makes sense, burned out. I just kind of need a break from it. I did play the one game I saw Zach play a game called, I don't even know how to pronounce, Mordhau.
I assume it's called Mordhau. That's
because
how I
it's
say
German.
it.
It's German. Mord is German. It's like, but
So how would you pronounce it?
Mordhau. Or
I guess I'm
Mordhau.
fucking German.
Played a game and I got hooked by just watching it, and so I bought it and played with him for like 2 or 3 hours. It's fun.
I don't know.
I
I played for 5 hours. You were probably there for most of it.
Pretty cool. I mean, they have a lot of content in there too, but I don't know. It's great. I like it. One of the surprising titles for me. I played this other Chivalry or whatever. I didn't like that. It was too laggy and unoptimized. Movies. I watched the movie of the week, which we're going to discuss later. I watched some boring horror movie that's not even worth mentioning. I forgot the title already. I fell asleep on that one. I did watch Game of Thrones this week and last week. So that's a lot to discuss later on too, maybe. But other than that, that was kind of like my 2 weeks. I probably played like some other games here and there, but not enough where I can actually give feedback on. It was more like, Monster Hunter came on Game Pass, the Monster Hunter World. I played that for a little bit. Seems to be pretty great, but I only have like 20 minutes in. So, I kind of realized after the tutorial, the 20 minutes, this is going to be a time sucker. So
It's another one of those grinding games.
Yeah. Oh, I did play Skyrim. I did play a lot of Skyrim again.
What?
Because of Game of Thrones, actually. Because the whole dragon thing. And I noticed that there are mods out there that are actually called Westeros and stuff. They have like a complete redone of the map.
On the console or PC?
The mod itself, I only saw on PC. I haven't looked on console, but I did play on console without any mods because I want the achievements. I want to just kind of like grind the achievements out, get to the part where I did all the achievements, and then mod the shit out of it. Because if you use a mod on a console, it was disable the achievements. So I don't know. It's for people. It's not like a big deal, but for me, it kind of is because I want to get to my 100,000 gamer score by before my birthday, before September. So that's kind of like my goal. 8 years of Xbox Live to get my 100,000.
I knew a guy who just bought super cheap kids games to knock out all the achievements just to run up his gamer score. You should do that.
Nah, that's
Do you
boring.
get something cool? Is there like a fucking prize I'm missing out on?
Do they mail you something? Does Microsoft go, look at this fucking nerd? He needs something for all the time he's spent.
I don't know. I
They
mean,
did an
there
article
was
on the
like
people
a
in
month.
Game Informer, the first two
Yeah.
people that hit it.
They got Live Unlimited forever. Like they have Xbox Live now. Like the ones with the highest gamer scores, they got Xbox Live for unlimited time.
What
like
if
never
they lose
expires.
the highest gamer score? Do they get knocked off that free train so they have to keep playing?
No, they just keep playing. I mean, it's just a
That'd be
competition.
kind of cool.
But yeah, no, I just
The top 10 gamer scores in the world get free Xbox Live, and when you lose it, you get bumped off.
yeah, that would be
Look, I gotta pay
Fucking
this
game of
month.
gamer scores right there.
yeah.
Look out.
But
Bump, ba-da-da-bump.
but while playing Skyrim, I thought of like, man, this is pretty much the Game of Thrones, but how great would it be to have a Game of Thrones game like Skyrim? But anyway, so that was my week. Not a lot of different gaming, not a lot of movie watching, some Supernatural here and there, but really not, like, again, anything that I touched playing wise, I'm probably gonna elaborate later on because I sunk more hours in, but right now I can't give you guys like a good like feedback on it because I just haven't played the games that I tried for long enough time.
I just don't touch and tell.
Yeah.
So you were playing Skyrim on the console or on the PC?
Yes, the special edition. I also haven't played it since I got the Xbox One X, since I got the 4K textures and whatnot. So all the enhancements on it. So holds up pretty great, and I'm kind of sunk into it again with the whole dragon lore, and I like it.
Sweet.
But yeah, so who's next?
There's an order. I don't remember the order.
It's gonna
There's
break
an
the order.
Remember that?
You, my man, above me.
Sag.
Yep.
It's my turn. Okay, I'm gonna try to recall everything that I did. I played Apex because I always play Apex. I did, however, play some Apex on the Xbox.
How did that go?
Either the
He's a
people
god
on the
among men.
right, I just murdered everyone. Like I wasn't even trying. Everyone was my bitch. It was easy. The aim assist is just too tough, too hard. Like I felt like I wasn't playing the game.
Do you think you have an advantage because you know the game so well coming from PC, you know exactly what to do, and now you have to assist with the controller with the aim assist, and it makes it even easier for you? Or was it just maybe like okay, maybe there are just shitty players in my lobby?
No,
because
it was
suck
lobby after
sometimes in that
lobby,
game.
man.
Yeah.
It was lobby after lobby. I was wrecking people.
God, you need to play with me. I need some wins.
All right.
He had
cool.
like a 17 kill win with like 4,000 damage or something.
17
Wow.
kills, 2,800 damage, and it was all with the longbow. I just put a 3x scope on the longbow and then just ran at people, and then I left trigger and it just lock on and just pow, 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 and they were dead. Just over and over and over again. I didn't have to do anything. It felt broken. I felt like I was a cheater.
Aim assist.
Right? They called me the
Goddamn
aimbot.
cheater.
I played some Rocket League.
Oh, I like that game. I played it at launch a lot. When it came out on PS4, man, that was my game.
I enjoy it. I play with Crazy Killer, who TJ and Wes know
Nice.
from back in the Rainbow days.
You like it? I have it on PC too.
We play quite a bit of it. Like whenever we hang out and play games together, we play Rocket League together. As long as we don't face anyone who flies, we do pretty well. But if someone can fly, we just get annihilated. I don't understand how to fly in that game. And people that do are just miles better than me. But keep it on the ground and I'll show you what's up.
Nice.
What's up, Buttercup?
Watched Game of Thrones. The last week I was busy helping McKenna with cake balls, so I really didn't do much gaming or anything that week. I played some of the new Total War Warhammer expansion that came out. There's a new DLC that added 2 legendary lords and a whole bunch of new units to the game. You have these rattling gunners now that stand there, and they have literal Gatling guns that they crank, which is pretty cool. And they have snipers with giant muskets that take 2 rats to hold up. So one person shoots and one rat holds it up and just rails. Played that, and then I played 5 hours of Mordhau yesterday. And that might be my new favorite game.
What?
Seriously,
Even
I could-
over
I concur.
Apex?
It's a great game.
Yeah, I could play that more than I play Apex. Like if I
It's
never touched
so
Apex
much fun.
again because I have Mordhau, that'd be fine. It's one of those things where I feel like, and it might just be because it's new, but I'm losing because I suck, and I like games that let me know that I'm losing because I suck, not because of some bullshit. So if I'm in a one-on-one fight, I know when I screw up.
Tell everybody
and-
about this game. What is it?
So it's a first-person medieval fighting game.
Multiplayer only, right?
What's that?
Multiplayer only?
No, there is a horde mode where you and I'm not sure how many buddies co-op against increasingly difficult waves of AI. But outside of that, yes, it is multiplayer only. They have a couple of cool game modes. Their flagship game mode is Frontline, which is 64 players, and then it has a battlefield type feel to it where you're fighting over contest points, trying to capture them and relieve them. And I think there's some missions that are you're sieging a castle, so you have to break through the walls and take the interior and take the throne room, that kind of stuff. There's a skirmish mode, which is basically last man standing. So 2 teams duke it out until one team's all the way dead, and then you respawn and go again. There's team deathmatch and regular deathmatch. And then a lot of the regular deathmatch servers, they say they're dual servers. So you just have a bunch of people 1v1ing in there. When someone dies, the next person jumps in. And it's community policed. So if someone's being a dick and going around just stabbing everybody, then they get vote kicked, or everyone gangs up on them and kills them every time they spawn, which is kind of cool. I like that small community aspect of it.
Now they need to make a Jedi Knight game based on this.
The game is fully moddable, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get some.
How much is it?
It's $30. It's 10% off right now, so I think it's
26. Yeah, I paid 26. It's worth it. Worth every penny, man.
It absolutely is. It looks gorgeous. There's a ton of content. There's a battle royale mode. Currently, it's only single player battle royale, but I haven't checked it out. I'm sure that they'll add to it.
Jump out of your medieval airplane, fly to a checkpoint somewhere.
You do just spawn randomly in villages. It'd be kind of funny if you jumped out of some wooden airplane, or it launches everybody over the map in catapults or something.
There you go.
That'd be dope. But tons of content. There's probably 30 different weapons that you can choose from. There's a character create. So as you play, you earn gold and experience. It lets you unlock different armor and weapons that you can put on custom classes, kind of like Call of Duty. It has a similar point system for you to choose perks, armor, and weapons. So you have like 16 points, and different weapons take up more points because they're better. So your character has to suck more in other places. And they've already been making a ton of quick fix patches to it to fix some of the stuff, which is awesome to see the response time for it only being out 2 days. They've already upgraded their server browser so you can filter by game types, which wasn't available to begin with. Added some games to the server browser that weren't initially in the server browser. You can do custom servers, obviously, because there's going to be mod support for it. I'm in love. It feels good.
Might have to check it out.
I don't think you won't like it. There's horses. There's fucking horses. That was cool.
I love fucking horses.
Yeah, man.
Aren't you in trouble for that already?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, so Mordhau, check it out. It's the bee's knees, possibly even the kitty's titties, man.
The kitty's titties.
The kitty's titties.
All
Sponsored
right.
by Courthouse, where you kill for the thrill.
Did I watch anything else? I listened to a bunch of podcasts, but I didn't really watch anything besides Game of Thrones and the podcast movie.
I'll make it up for you.
You'll make it up for me?
I watched too much. What's the podcast movie? Oh, I got you. The weekly. I'm like, what the fuck's he talking about?
Men of Children, Children of Men.
Children of Men. Don't get the goddamn name wrong. That movie's a masterpiece.
Men of Children.
The Men of Children. That sounds weird. Yeah. So I'm gonna pass it on because I'm boring this week, and it goes to
be super boring and laid down
below me. The great
not
nugget
right
of
here.
squatches.
Not while everybody's watching. They're gonna
I can't
blow you
you.
in.
Actually, I'm gonna serve it. I'm gonna serve it
Yeah,
back
you
over
can't
to
go on
Pascal.
rabbit, man.
Pascal, I'm passing it back to you. You had one more updated thing that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I did have another game I wanted to talk about really quick. I bought World War Z, which I call Left 4 Dead 3. Is it missing a few things? Yeah. Will they add it? Yes. Is it freaking amazing? Hell yes.
You like it better than Days Gone?
What? Complete different game, dude.
It is completely different, but the horde mode to me, watching
yeah, no,
you
it's
guys
great.
play the horde mode makes me look like me. I could picture me and Greg squilling like little girls hiding in a bathtub because the horde's going to get us. Like
I had low expectations. One of my Xbox buddies like, hey, you need to get this. We play it with you, man. Like, okay, well, whatever. I bought it because they usually recommend good games. And oh my god, I was like, holy shit! Like, it's a great game. I love it. Like, it's definitely what I thought Left 4 Dead 3 could be, but better. Like that, it's just crazy when you just shoot people as zombies, and all of a sudden you have to defend this point, and you see this horde storming at you, and you're like, oh shit. So a lot of like different characters with backstories, cool systems of ammo and guns and upgrading them, like progression. There's a PvP mode to it too, which I haven't really checked out, which is separate from the main game. However, you can upgrade your guns in the co-op mode for the they have different levels with attachments, and you can go to like a level 4 of an assault rifle and use that then in the multiplayer. So that's what I'm gonna do now, just get the grind going, and difficulties. We played on easy and we had a tough time, so I'm pretty sure that once you go higher difficulties, it's gonna be even crazier. But I definitely recommend that. Like, if you like Left 4 Dead, any of them, and you want that game, they're going to add story content further down the line, for free included. So they're going to keep on updating the game. I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of like a sleeper hit. Like, not a lot of people pay attention to it, but they should, if you like Left 4 Dead. So I definitely recommend it. Like, definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Back to you, Mr. Terry.
Well, I'm just here to let you guys down. I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there right now.
Why don't you let me down gently, man?
So I'll get straight to the games I played. I played Apex, and that's it. Nothing new there. It was Apex. I didn't play much of it. As you guys know, earlier in last week, I was sick. So I was out pretty much from work all but one day last week, and I think I streamed with Zach streamed, I gamed, and I wasn't the best teammate. I think I was being a little whiny, but I was sick, so that's all I played. I didn't get to really play much. Been working on the studio behind me, trying to get everything down here. I didn't realize how big of a task it was going to be.
Patrick Swayze Dance Studio?
It would be a Patrick Swayze Dance Studio. And I have two double opening doors, so I could put a stack of C4 on it, and no one would ever be able to get in. So I did a lot of moving. So I guess I'll just give you guys some IRL. So I mean, my 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since we've talked. Honestly, we skipped out Tuesdays, and this is the third one back. So I what did I do? Let's see. Oh, we took my daughter to a inner beauty pageant.
Yeah.
And that was fun. We went down to Bowling Green and spent the night, and she got all dolled up, and they gave her a limo ride, and she got a little Sierra.
Super dolled up. She looks great.
Yeah,
she looked great.
They did her hair, they did her makeup. There was 80 girls there, so it was it was pretty big for this being their second one. The person putting it on was totally blown away by the support that they gained.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time. I told Belinda I think we'll try to do one down here. Might get one in Lexington so people don't have to travel so far. What else did we do? Let's see. A little bit of work. Went fishing the other day, so that took out some time from the gaming. And hopefully, I want to get back into doing some more fishing, but I also just got my GoPro Hero 7 in, so we'll be doing some watching of that. We'll be filming the fishing sessions, and maybe we'll throw some videos up on YouTube.
Like your 4-wheeler.
Live stream.
Dude, if it didn't cost a fortune, I would try that. But
you should wear your GoPro to work.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? Man, if there wasn't so much advertisement around.
All the things I'd have to blur out.
You could get away with it, I think. You know what I mean? You would have to be pretty well versed in areas of the world to realize where somebody was at. But so that'll be some fun. Throw some of those videos up on the YouTube if we can catch some fish. I was unsuccessful. We got a proclamation signed by the good old faithful leader of Kentucky.
Yes. Do you have that down there?
I do not have that down here. I wonder if I could put it in the Discord and then screen share if that's what anybody's wanting to look at.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we went down and we filled out a bunch of papers, and what it does is it announces my daughter has a rare genetic disorder called CDKL5, and it announces and recognizes in the state of Kentucky that her disorder is now has like a monthly thing, like a support. Like this is known as
CDKL5 awareness
CDKL5 month. Yeah, awareness month. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna try to find this. Actually, I don't know if maybe one of you guys could, so I will be able to concentrate because I think it's in the WhatsApp.
What am I doing?
Pascal's on it. Getting the picture that Belinda sent so we could put it on there and then screen share so people can see it if they want to.
How did you guys go about getting this done?
So we went online and we went to I think it was like at the website for the governor's office, and there's an application that you fill out. And so then I guess they go through and see if they can make that happen. So like one of the cool things with it is on a specific day, which I think in June 17th is National CDKL5 Day. So we could go down and ask if they could light up because their color is like lime green, so they could light up the bell of the Capitol building in Frankfurt lime green for CDKL5 Day. And so it's pretty neat little setup that we can do. Can I? Oh. And I lost everything when I did that. Oopsie.
Oh, here we go.
Zach's got it up there.
I don't know. I can't open original.
Oh, weird. People are in different places than on my screen. Boom.
So and it was really neat too that you could go down and like they sign it and they sign it in to make it official.
That's amazing.
You can actually have a signing like ceremony where you actually go down and they sign it.
Probably would have had to wait for another 3 months for that though.
Yeah, probably.
Scheduling.
It was easier just to go down and pick it up and get it, but this is pretty neat. Something I want to bring me back. Something just to share with you guys.
That's awesome.
You guys are important.
I think it's
pretty our lives.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Pretty cool.
And I think that's about all I did. I did watch some movies, so we are going to do the Avengers Endgame non-spoiler talk. Were we going to do that tonight? Was that a thing? So I got a little story for everybody to get pissed off with me.
We can talk. We can talk about it now because neither one of these two have seen it. So we can just, if you want to talk about it, since we're going through your movies, we can just do that now.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So this is non-spoiler. I just want to repeat that for anybody listening to us. Non-spoiler Avengers Endgame. So first off, let's just talk about what happened when we got there. So I bought the fan event tickets. Paid $22 for these tickets. Supposed to come.
No drink for you.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I said no drink for you.
No, yeah. So it's supposed to come with a small popcorn, small drink. And I happened to notice the day before we were supposed to go that it said these 7 combos, because I bought 7 tickets, these 7 combos expire tomorrow. And I'm like, wait a minute, expires tomorrow? The movie's in 2 days. So we get down there, and sure enough, I sign in, and they're gone. Like they're non-existent. And so I complain about that. We find out, and dude was like sort of like off-putting. He's the manager, sort of like, well, sorry, there's nothing I can.
It's exactly what he said. He was like, well, there's nothing I can do about that.
And so me getting a little irritated because we are here 30 minutes early to make sure we can get, there's 7 of us, so get our drinks, our popcorn, and get in the fucking theater and not miss anything. Man, I'm getting red all over again. So I literally just look at the guy and go, "What do you mean? There's nothing you can't do for me? I spent $22 a fucking ticket for the fan event, and you're telling me now I'm not going to get these 7 drinking popcorns?" And he looks at me and goes, "Oh, you got the fan event? Just go over to the concession stand. We'll take care of it."
What a son of a bitch.
Yeah, so I was just blown away. It was, I don't know, it was very off-putting. So now, I'm already starting to get agitated. So we're waiting in line. We get our popcorn, we get our drinks, and oh boy, Wes, you're scaring me with the look on your face. What is going on? Timeout. Timeout on the field.
I'm out. So everybody wave. Say hi at the same time.
Hi.
Hi.
Do we need to count down to our...
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Zach
looks off to me. Everybody else looks fine.
Hi.
Hi.
I can't tell if he's
do it,
fucking with
TJ.
us now. Hi.
Hi.
No, he's definitely off. Hang on.
What's wrong?
You're way out of
You're
audio
behind.
video
You're,
sync.
You're a Godzilla movie. Godzilla.
And
Oh,
since we're paused, TJ, you're pixelated as fuck. You have any idea what's going on there?
I look fine on my end. I look crystal clear.
He looks fine on mine too.
he does not look fine on my end.
Been going between pixely and fine all night.
Let me make sure Steam is exited out.
Yeah, I don't know why. My Discord looks like I'm moving normal. I noticed it one time earlier, but...
You want to leave the call and come back?
Yeah.
If that helps. Oh.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
You're back. It's
Yeah.
working. That's
I
it.
fixed that. So let me do
fix that.
mine if I'm pixelated. Let me.
I finally get to edit a podcast. Wow, now you're crystal clear.
Maybe because I kept going in and out of Windows.
Oh. All right, well, we can get started again. Pascal, if you're done talking to whoever.
Huh?
Thinks you we talking to me, motherfucker?
What's up?
Oh, nothing.
We just caught you.
What do you think about what really, like, what did you think?
I know you weren't talking about anything other than the issues with the internet.
Well, then you'd know what we said to you right before you said, huh? What?
No.
Yeah. Oh, she brought you more McDonald's.
No, patio.
What?
The patio.
Like
the
a-
patio.
Is that like
It's
a
like a
bar
like a yeah, kind of.
where your girlfriend goes to hang out while you do podcasts with
A
nerds?
pub?
No, she just came home from work.
Patio.
From the patio where she works?
Yeah,
Doesn't
right.
work. Drinks with her friends. They get Pascal some fries to keep him satiated.
Heck, I'm fine
I
with
thought
that.
you were supposed to be eating walnuts, you some bitch. You're supposed to be eating your healthy snacks. Well, just because you have them, I see you eating French fries,
Oh,
man.
looks
You
like
got
the
a
bag's
camera.
about empty. Okay, let's get this shit back on track. We're ready to roll again. And
5,
good catch.
4, 3.
Hello, you turkeys.
No. You were in the middle of your in-game story.
Yeah. I just figured it would be funny. So let's see. So we get concession, we get this stuff, we get our stuff. We got like 2 to 3 minutes before it's time to the movie to start. So we go over to the little guy who, love his heart, he was excited for the end game, and he was probably upset he didn't get to watch it before us. But I can't even remember what he said. But anyways, so we scan our tickets. I've already went and got our coins.
Do you
We
like
got these
Iron Man?
collector's coins. And so he scanned
seen
our
every
tickets,
one of
and he's
these.
Like, he's like, so proceed to Studio 10. I'm like, okay, that's what my ticket says. Studio 10, B1 through 7. Got it. We can do this. So we head into the door, and as we pass him, I can't even remember what he said. What does the Avengers say? They don't say suit up, do they?
Assemble.
Assemble. So he's like, Avengers assemble. He does a little thing, so I'm excited for him. So we go into Studio 10. We get to our seats, and I'm like, there they are. B1, B2, B3, 4, 5, 6, and
fuck are these people sitting in our seats?
Are sitting on our seat. And I'm like, this is the most highly anticipated movie of the year. I'm not about ready to ask Joe Schmo down there to show me his tickets. I'm already thinking smart. Like, I don't want to get in a fight in the middle of this. But, Westman asked for him while I was gone.
So
I back out, and I go out, and I talk to our Avengers Assemble.
And let me just give you the rundown of what was going on while he was outside. We're standing there right next to the ramp that you all walk up before you get, like, to the stairs to go up, sit down. We're sitting there right next to the seats, basically. We already had kind of bad seats because it was sold out before. So we were going to have to either sit even closer, which was too close, or further away and separated because these bastards were in our chair. And as soon as he leaves to go get somebody to say, hey, there's people in our seats, the movie is started. Like, it literally starts while we're standing there.
Yeah.
So everything's dark. We're like, what the fuck? And he's outside. So he's missing the movie now. Go ahead.
So
I just have a question.
Yeah.
It is reserved seating only, right?
Reserved seating only. When you buy your tickets, you reserve them.
Gotcha.
So I'm already missing the movie. I go out and I talk to our boy outside, and I'm like, "Hey, man, could you run in there? There's some people sitting in our seats. I don't want to be like, hey, let me see your ticket." And he looks at me and goes, "Did you try to ask them for their tickets?" And I said, "Well, first off, I don't work here. That's your job. And if you can't do it, then I need you to get me a manager." So he radios manager over to podium 2, and I'm like, oh God. So 5 minutes go by, manager comes up. "Hey, can I help you?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. We went in there to sit down. There's people in our seats." He goes, "Well, let me see your tickets." So I show him our tickets. He's like, "Yeah, we've been having a big problem with this." And he goes, "We only had one showing for 5 p.m., which is the showing I bought a month ago. 1 month ago, I pre-ordered these tickets." And so what they did was they realized how big of a selling these tickets were. They opened up like 3 more showings for 5 p.m.
Hold on. Is that a grilled cheese? You motherfucker.
It looked so good, didn't it? A grilled Pascal's eating a grilled cheese, you guys.
From like, the patio.
From the patio.
But not his patio. Somebody else's patio.
All right, go ahead.
Now he dies choking on a grilled cheese because he can't stop laughing. Giggity, giggity, giggity. But anyway, so they did like 3 more showings at the same time of ours, but didn't, think to tell Avengers Assemble kid, who has now sat everybody in Theater 10. So manager goes, "Well, let me go see what I can do." About 2 minutes later, here comes like a freaking train of people. So the people in our seats, plus there were other people that were apparently standing in there, not only us, because their seats were taken. So yeah, that's a big complaint that went in. I emailed them, hopefully to hearing something back.
You probably missed 8 to 10 minutes of the movie, if not a little more.
I definitely know I missed at least 10 minutes of the movie.
I did ask those motherfuckers. I said, because somebody, I can't remember if it was your woman or Postal's woman, came up and was like, nobody wants to ask them if that's their, that's where they're supposed to be sitting. I was like, fuck, I'll ask them. I went down and I'm like, hey guys, I don't want to, I could be completely wrong, thinking get the fuck out of our seats because I know I'm not. And I'm like, we've got seats B1 through 7, and the dude's like, well, we've got B3 through 6, and I'm like, okay, fair enough, whatever. So we just went and sat down in the front row, like, I guess, fuck, whatever. And then TJ got them all kicked out or something.
So they sent them on to their right place. But with that being said, Avenger Endgame was amazing. It lived up to the hype. I didn't know how they were going to make it 3 hours and 2 minutes, considering I thought it was over in 3 minutes and 2 seconds. That's all I'm saying. This is non-spoiler. I thought it was over 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Thought there was a mess up. Man, the fight scenes were good. The story on people leaving was really well done. Some of your people from Infinity Wars was just outstanding. They pulled at your heartstrings. I don't think I've ever sat through a movie where I've heard so much sniffling throughout the whole movie and so much cheering throughout the whole movie. So
I've heard more cheers, but there were a lot of sniffles.
Yeah. Like I was seeing little boys, like teenage boys sniffling because of all the chaos that they caused in this movie.
They're just weak.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Pascal. I wasn't sniffling. You were.
Wes.
So
I admit it. I had to wipe.
My ass.
Oh.
It's so hard to do a non-spoiler thing.
It's real hard to do non-spoilers. That's why I wanted to do the weekly movie thing.
So, I mean, I can maybe help out. So, the cinematography, like, was it well shot and everything? Music and stuff was awesome. Like, was there anything?
Everything was on point.
Without, like, if you have to be like critic about something, like, what was something that was like bad, other than no plot?
I don't think there was.
I got no complaints myself.
They tied in so many storylines, and they did it well. I think one of the things I complained about with Captain Marvel was how the storyline sort of, like, instead of giving you all the backstory of Captain Marvel up front, you got it throughout the whole movie. But they tied in so many stories, and they tied up so many stories with this. I had no complaints with the movie.
So that's why
it's a buy it for me when it comes out with all
the only complaint I have is I never saw Captain Marvel, so maybe I'm biased. But to me, she just kind of showed up and was way more powerful than I would have ever imagined anybody to be. And that's not really a spoiler. It just like she could do things that other people couldn't do. And I was kind of put off by that because I have no investment in her. You know, like I've been with Iron Man since 2008. I've been with Captain America since 2010. I've been with Thor since 2009, right? So this, like, it's kind of like, who the fuck is this new kid showing up doing all this badassery? But other than that, I mean, seriously, like the way the movie was made, the flow, the story, the decisions they made, I really have no problem with any of it.
Definitely, I 100% agree, and we'll battle back and forth. I think me and Wes came to a sort of a understanding with how I felt about the overpoweredness of the new person, and I think I finally got my point across to him because I think we were sort of both like, oh, okay, I see that. But we'll talk about that more in the spoiler part of it. We'll argue.
I think that she's going to be heralding a whole new series of female Avengers. Because they already, there's a thing in there where the females do their thing, and that's not a spoiler either, but you know what I'm talking about, right? They all kind of get together at a point and kick some ass, and I was like, I could see that going somewhere. Like a commercial for their next movie.
Yeah, man.
Girls Club.
But didn't they do that in the end of Avengers in a cafe? Neener. I don't know.
No,
we can, in the spoiler edition, we'll at least be able to hash that out a little
right.
bit. It's out there.
For me, bottom line is, since I've been alive, I can only think of very few movies that have had this type of hype. Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I don't really remember, obviously, those coming out in the theaters. I was a little baby. So I'm going to fast forward to the hype train to Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Return of the King. Those 5 movies are really the only movies that I can think of since I've been alive that have had this kind of hype and have actually lived up to it. So we're talking about some of the most beloved nerd franchises of all time. To me, those are the only movies that have had this type of hype and lived up to it until now, because to me, Avengers Endgame lived up to every bit of the hype that was out there. I didn't know what to expect, and I was quite satisfied with what happened.
Can you give me a movie that had that sort of hype that it didn't live up to it, just for a frame of reference?
Any of the Transformers movies, right off the bat.
Those had hype with them?
Return of the Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
Okay. I think I just must be
The Hobbit
from the hype for all those.
The Hobbit movies.
I
like the Hobbit movies too, but they didn't live up to the hype for me. Really.
Okay. Hellboy.
Any of the DC movies, they didn't have that kind of hype, but like you were talking about, like
Batman versus
Superman, or what's the other one where they're all together? Aquaman and Flash.
Suicide Squad.
No.
What are they called?
I forget. Justice League. It's fucking jokeable.
Suicide Squad.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about big hype. Yeah. Jurassic World.
I didn't think that was going to be that good of a movie, though, because I don't think the originals were like amazing movies. I thought they're fun to watch, but I don't know. I just feel separated from the hype that you guys are talking about for all these franchises.
I was going to say I could cut it too. I don't know. I mean, I guess hype's a subjective thing.
It's true.
Yeah, but we're also talking about comic book movies, and when it comes to comic book movies, Zach's not a big comic book movie person.
Same.
So maybe like My Little Pony for Pascal.
Gore edition, please.
So that's all I got. It's definitely, it would be a own it to me.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, we need to tell our peoples we have a new scoring for. There's no longer a nug system, so you guys don't be confused when we don't throw out a nug number. We have abolished the nugs.
Abandon the nugs.
That shit's illegal.
No more nugs.
That's right.
Here.
No more nugs. And somebody else will have to tell them what it is, because I didn't write down the right one.
Yeah, guys, just in a way to kind of streamline the process, we're going to rate movies now on a buy it, stream it, or skip it scale. So if it's really, really good and we think that you should add it to your personal collection, or if we would add it to our personal collection, we're going to say it's a buy. If it's a good time and we enjoyed it but wouldn't buy it, it's a stream it. And obviously, if we think it's a piece of shit and you shouldn't waste your time watching it, we're going to say skip it. So there you go. Easy peasy pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
I forgot I watched something.
Oh, what'd you watch?
Go.
I watched Tag.
Tag, yes.
Ooh.
Over the weekend.
I watched Tag
just a small
as well.
What do you think?
I actually thought it was a pretty funny movie. I was all down with it. I was a little upset that I wanted to tug at my heartstrings at the end. I could have done without that.
But IRL, man.
Yeah, but IRL. No, it was funny. I thought it was well done. I had a good time from start to finish with it.
I like that it wasn't a true story. I think made the movie more enjoyable to me.
Buy it, skip it, stream it.
Stream it. I wouldn't buy that movie, but I'd stream it, which I did. Thanks for getting HBO Go for Game of Thrones season.
I'm on stream it as well, although I thought it was a great movie.
Awesome.
What else you got, Nugget?
So we went and saw Hellboy. I've battled back and forth with Hellboy. I think it was a good movie.
Better than the Del Toro Hellboys?
No,
Okay.
not better than Del Toro. And I think you throw in, is it Ron Perlman, right?
He was the
gonna
original.
say Guillermo del Toro or Benicio del Toro. Such a legitimate question. But I think it's Guillermo, yeah.
Yeah, it's Guillermo.
They had some good humor in it. My gosh, it's been so long since I watched it. We've been gone for so long. Like, I keep circling back on this. Like, I've forgotten a lot of stuff. So
I need to keep a journal. My podcast journal.
I would say on my scale, and I mean, it got downvoted a lot too. It was one of those movies that took a hit before it even released. I would definitely say, in my personal thing, I wouldn't have it. And you guys got to understand, I don't keep movies.
The podcast journal. Can you hear the pages being turned?
Pages, the
there's a
podcast
penguin
journal of
bird.
our life. So I'm just going to throw it out there as a stream it. If it came on and if it was on your service, go for it. Watch it. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Won't say it was the best, but
Doesn't
it was.
sound like you're very high on that
You
movie.
just stream it. Would you pay to see it at a theater again? Like, what would you suggest? I go pay $10 to go watch that.
Maybe matinee. I couldn't say $10.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say if you could catch it matinee, like where they drop it down to like $5 or $7. I don't know how your matinees are, or student discount.
Stimulus Tuesdays.
Yeah, but I couldn't warrant going out and see it. I would hold off.
You don't have your movie
But I
pass
definitely
anymore?
No,
Doesn't
canceled those.
work.
I'm considering. See, it would just be a commitment, and with all McKenna's cake balls, but I'm considering doing AMC's pass because it's better than Movie Pass is now. The Movie Pass is pretty much defunct at this point. Like, they're facing lawsuits and they're changing their whole system to be watch ads to get movies, to go to be able to go see movies and all this kind of stuff. But Movie Pass is basically out the window. AMC's though, you can do it monthly. You don't have to buy it for a whole year or anything like that. You get 3 movies a week, and you can watch the same movie 3 times if you wanted to, or something like that. Whatever days, whatever showings, whatever movies. And you also get some other bonuses in terms of concessions.
What kind of price are they looking at? Do you know?
I think it's $15 a month. I'll look it up while you talk about.
Dude, that's not bad.
That's 12 movies a month.
Yeah.
If
not bad at all.
you could go, nobody's going to go to 3 movies a week.
No. I try sometimes because I like movies. We did watch The Goonies at the movies. I remember I told you guys we were going to watch that. So just, oh man, it brought back so many good memories. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Obviously, to me, even though it's been out since 1984, it's a own. You got to have The Goonies in your collection of movies.
Buy that shit.
Yeah, interesting fact. The little chubby kid that does the truffle shuffle was afraid he was going to lose his part in the Goonies because the week before filming he had the chicken pox. And they say on some of the like better editions of it where they went in and cleared everything up, you can see the chicken pox on his stomach when he does the truffle shuffle.
Awesome moles,
really? Could you see it when it was on the big screen?
I didn't pay attention, but I wasn't really down for looking at the truffle shuffle.
Why not? That's just a glorious sight you got to take in, no matter what.
That is. So, also watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Enjoyed that. I feel like I've talked about that before, but I think I just talked. And it's really weird because on the rental date was like after our last podcast, so I don't know what's happened there, but I just figured I would bring it out again.
Did you watch the second one?
Which one is that?
Is the second one not Where to Find Them?
I don't remember.
I thought that was the first one.
Crimes of Grindelwald.
Crimes of Grindelwald is the second.
Okay, so we watched the second one.
Okay.
Yes, I had it wrote down wrong. So we watched that. Very good. I would say own it if you were into it. To me,
absolutely. If you're into, I'd agree with that. If you're into the Harry Potter universe, it's definitely worth owning.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta look down at my list. I'm running the last two here. We watched Replicas with Keanu Reeves.
How was that?
I thought it was interesting. It was an interesting little ploy. It got dumb at some points. Like, it was sort of like, what are we talking about? I got a little confused in it sometimes, but really messed with you when it came down to what he did, how he started making these replicas, and why he made the replica. So, I would say, I wouldn't say skip it, but I also wouldn't say pay for a streaming service to watch it. If
You
just
have
happen
to.
I know this rating system, it hurt.
Fuck, man.
This rating system hurts.
It's supposed to make it easier. You have 3 choices instead of 10.
It has made it difficult.
Just do it.
I guess rent it on Redbox for $1.50.
There you go.
That's stream.
Rent it.
I mean, it's
Okay,
streaming
so
it.
That's stream it, man. That's stream
Okay.
it. Stream it is if you own
If it's
the
worth
streaming
watching,
thing,
but you
or
wouldn't buy
rent, like the same as if you go rent it, spend $4 renting it from Amazon, or it's on Netflix, so you should watch it because it's on Netflix. Is what stream it is. I think
he's stuck in this age of discs still. He likes to go get the actual disc. You still get discs from Netflix, don't you?
Mm-mm.
No.
What is
You did though for a long time.
I only did it when it was like the great price. It was like you paid $7 and you got streaming and disc. So they offered in streaming, I rented on disc. And once they separated them, I canceled. The only reason I go to Redbox is because it's Blu-ray for like $2, and they send me a coupon like almost every week. If you rent by Sunday, you get $1.25 off, so 75 cents to see a Blu-ray.
Hell yeah.
That's the only reason why I rent them. So I would say stream it. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way of streaming can also be considered renting, I'm good to go on my I'm good to go on my rating system now.
Okay.
Because I was torn on telling people not to see this movie, but yeah. So anyways, and then we watched Marwen, another based on a true story
Jungle
type
Book,
movie
no?
with Steve Carell.
That's Mowgli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So based on Steve Carell, he's
What's it called again?
Marwen.
Mowgli.
Marwen.
It's Marvin.
So pretty much based on a guy who has some gay tendencies. He gets the living shit beat out of him after a bar fight, and he has no memory of what he used to like to do previous to the bar fight, but he has all the trauma of the fight and of getting the shit kicked out of him. So he starts making this little fake world out of Barbies that is controlled by an evil witch Barbie, which he starts to equal his depression medicine, his suicide and depression. That's what she is. And the other Barbies like help him kick ass. And he sort of makes it, he doesn't want to go to his court date because he's afraid of these guys, and he freaks out, and it was a really good movie. So if you can stream it, stream it.
Cool.
Or go.
Really weird, but you'll really understand the meaning of it by about 3/4 of the way through. It's really interesting. And it's based off, like I said, a true story. This guy really did that. And he takes like photographs. He was like a photographer. So he sets up these little cities and scenes of his life and takes pictures of them and puts them in an art gallery.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it helped him get through. Yeah, so it helped him move through his whatever. Just goes to show you, man, just don't give up and find something to get you through.
So inspiring.
Very inspiring. Yeah, never get up, never surrender. And that's all I got, guys. For me not having anything, I sort of wasted a little too much time, so I apologize.
We had the technical difficulties there in the middle. Update on AMC, it is $19.95 a month. You go monthly, you get 3 movies per week, plus a whole list of other perks. You get 100 points per dollar spent. I don't know what you get to spend the dollars on. You get free size upgrades on popcorns and drinks, and other stuff.
So you buy a medium, you get a large?
So how do they work? Is it like selected movies that they select?
No, it's any movie of any format, even 3D, even IMAX.
That you can pick.
Yeah, per 3 of them per week.
What?
For $20 a month.
Okay, this is not sponsored by AMC, guys.
This podcast is not sponsored by AMC A-List.
It's not. I'm just amazed by it. That's awesome.
However, if you would like to give Zach a free membership,
if you would like someone who likes to watch movies to go and check out your AMC Stubs A-List, I'm in the market for a test. Throwing that out there, AMC. I know you're listening.
Anyway.
So on to the West Man.
Oh, me. Yeah. Oh, shit. Well, real quick. Played some games. Nothing too special. Played some Mass Effect 2 on stream for some reason. Feel like going through that again and getting close to beating it. I'm going to keep plugging away.
You did do that new content that you'd never done before.
Which is
Citadel.
I don't know. You kept saying you'd never done this before,
and it looked really good. I thought it was an amazing.
Oh yeah, the DLC.
The Shadow Broker stuff?
There was some Shadow Broker DLC that I had not done before, and it was pretty cool. Love Mass Effect 2. It's really fun. Dialogue didn't age as well as I thought it would, though. A lot of times, I remember playing as Shepard, and I'm like, yeah, bitch, you're gonna do what I say. And now I choose this dialogue, and it's like, well, where do you think the Reapers went? I'm just like, yeah, it's not as cool as I remember it, but whatever. It's a cool game, fun game, love it. Old game.
Do you want to play the third one?
I do. Again? Not Andromeda. I would play Andromeda again.
I don't know why people are.
I would play it again. It's just because
I think it wasn't a bad game.
Because
like, people compared it to.
It's not a fucking sequel.
No, it's not. It's never supposed to be, though. Like, if you take it as an entity of its own, I think it's a great game.
Look, if they put out a pirate game with rifles and pistols and called it Battlefield,
I would play
1200. If it didn't live up to the Battlefield hype, you would think this is fucking stupid. This shouldn't be a Battlefield game. Just like maybe that might not should have been a Mass Effect game. I don't know.
Yeah, true. Could have been, yeah.
Anyway, played some more Major League Baseball, MLB The Show 19. Still really love that game, but god darn, it is so frustrating. You guys are gonna have to stop eating your beards because it's gonna make me laugh. Just trying really hard not to laugh. MLB The Show 19. I really, really, really like that game, but it also the moments, the things that you do, some of the things you have to do to get points for your Diamond Dynasty team is so frustrating. I'm still trying to hit 2.
I felt like you were mad at me because you were looking down and I'm underneath you in the Discord screen, and like I felt attacked.
No, you're actually you're up here to me.
Diamond Dynasty.
No, you're up here to me. So there's nobody below me. It's all by myself. Oh boy.
Shots.
Go ahead. Don't barf into that bottle. It's worth more than that. Backwash and shit. Well, hell, I might as well.
Oh man, that's so good. It took me a little bit to get into Basil Hayden, but it's good.
Anyway,
anyways,
seems like all these expensive ones have this real snappy aftertaste. It kind of feels like sand. I don't know why. Anyway, MLB The Show 19, still a great game, love it, but Jesus Christ, these moments that they want you to complete these challenges are freaking ridiculous. I have probably tried to hit a home run with 2 home runs in 3 games with Babe Ruth 60 times. Can't do it. I had to pitch a no-hitter or not a no-hitter, a shutout, no runs scored against me as Babe Ruth. 9 innings, right? So you're thinking, okay, well, the problem with this is you can only control one person. You're only controlling Babe Ruth. You have no control over the rest of your team. So when they fuck up, they fuck you up. I have gone so many times. I got 7 innings, 8 innings, 9 innings down, and then I gave up a run or whatever. Well, finally, I completed the full 9 innings, but the problem was I didn't control my team on offense, and they didn't score anything, so it was 0-0 at the end of 9 innings.
No
I went
way.
13 fucking innings before I gave up a home run in the bottom of the 13th on one pitcher.
That's
Pitcher who was
ridiculous.
exhausted, had no energy left. What do you think's going to happen? You know?
And didn't they keep switching their pitcher though?
Well, I didn't get to play any offense, so I wouldn't know, but I'm assuming. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So I finally got that one done, but it took forever, and I was so mad. And it's just not worth doing them, I don't think. My only complaint about that game, really. I really like that game. Other than that, but I will bitch about that shit.
was the moments like the ultimate team kind of challenges to get cards?
Yeah,
or?
you don't use your ultimate team in them, but the rewards are high level, very high level cards in the ultimate team.
Okay.
One time I think I heard you say that they expired. Is that still true?
I think they have some challenges that expire.
Okay.
It's not challenges, but it's sets of things that you can collect or challenges to complete. Like say,
I took it to
win
mean-
9 head-to-head games in this 2-week period, stuff like that.
Okay, I took it to mean it was so you get this card and then you get to use it in X amount of games. And
Oh
then it
no,
disappears.
no,
'Cause I was
that
like,
would
well,
be totally
given the
not worth it.
difficulty.
Well, it's still kind of like
Can
fuck
eat
that,
my
but
butthole.
pretty much. Well, and from what I've seen, like I keep looking on YouTube for people saying, here's an easy way to do this, and most of them are like, yeah, just don't play it; it's not worth it. So, then I played Days Gone last night. Played it for about an hour or two. Didn't sink its hooks into me like I thought it would, but I'm still learning how to play.
Yeah, it's still in the tutorial.
The one
basically,
gripe that I have is, or the biggest gripe that I have at least, is that the zombies are dumb, which is a good thing, but you should be able to walk up to them Walking Dead style and take a good shot and kill them head on, even if they see you. Now, I feel like, because you can do it,
about it last night.
you can do it like, if they can't see you, then you can do like a one-hit kill on them, like a stealth kill. I think you should be able to do those stealth kills as long as there aren't enough around to where they hit you and it interrupts your animation.
Once you're in proximity, yeah.
Right, because if they interrupt your animation and you can't do that, fine, okay. But I shouldn't have to walk up on one zombie who can see me clearly and hit him 7 times to kill him.
It doesn't make sense from just a standpoint. A zombie doesn't defend itself.
Exactly.
It's not
So
gonna
all
put
I
its
should
arms
have to
up
do is
stop you from hitting him.
right to the head, and he's done, whether he can see me or not. Now, Pascal did say that if I get a little bit further along, I'll develop some weapons that you can do that with. So
I'm not gonna spoil this, but there are some, I think, Walking Dead inspired weapons, and they're like pretty badass. It's pretty fun, but they're not gonna do anything. And with the being dumb, I mentioned that too, which I didn't notice until somebody mentioned it to me, but I pay attention to is if it's raining, he actually says it when you walk around towards the station. I don't know if you missed it, but if it's raining, and there's like a storm going on, it's daytime, the zombies don't like see you or hear you, so they're pretty dumb. But if it's night and it's not raining, it's because it's like loud environments and stuff, and their senses aren't the same. So basically that's how they like. I had normal daytime and nighttime with no rain. Man, they spotted me from so far away, and they smelled me too. So they have like smell and vision, and that is influenced by the weather too. So
well, the good thing is he bitched about it how much it rains.
Yeah, it will reduce. Again, the weather is.
Okay.
Just play a little more. Give it another chance. That's
I'm going to give it some more time. Other than that, I played Mutant League Football or Mutant Football League.
I'm so sad I didn't get to see you play that because I don't really understand what
it looked so frustrating, but fun.
It's fun, but frustrating. It got better once I understood what the frick I was trying to do. Basically, it's NFL Blitz with monsters, skeletons, xenomorphs, aliens, zombies, ogres, monsters, basically. And it replicates the NFL. You only have, 3 offensive linemen instead of 5 or 6. 2 wide receivers, well, 2 receivers, whether it's a tight end or a wide receiver, quarterback and a running back. But they've got names on here like every player, not every player, but a lot of the players are NFL inspired. They've got Von Killer from the Mile High. I forget what they are. Mile High something. It's the Denver Broncos. They've got Throd Gronkowski from the whatever Patriots. Yeah. What are you pointing at?
I was wondering if there's a way to make the red light go off, but it only turns on at white.
No. There's Sladrian Peterson from the at the time I think he was on the Vikings. He likes to beat his kid apparently. Oh Hell Reckham Jr.
To be fair, it was Oh Hell Rectum Jr.
Rectum Jr. Bomb Shady, who's the quarterback of the Patriots.
Yeah, I was talking to you about that. I played the hockey version of that back in like '94. Yeah, it was a blast.
Dude, the game is fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun. The commentary is absolutely out of this world. They talk about shit like, oh, he ran through him like a double stuffed burrito from Taco Hell, and at one point, like at the end of the game, one of the announcers was like, well, it was a well-fought game on both sides and blah, 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 blah. And then some other announcer comes on and he's like, yeah, well, it's bullshit. They lost, so fuck him and fuck you too. And I was just like, what? It's fun shit. It's on sale on Steam for $14. I think they have it on both consoles, Xbox and PlayStation. If you like football and you want something a little different, it's a lot of fun. It's way deeper than I thought it would be. Playbooks, creating your own plays, roster management, way deep if you want to get into that. So it's not. It can be
worth it on the commentary.
I'm telling. I'd buy it. It's a buy for me. Anyway, moving on to movies and TV though. I watched a lot of shit, so we're gonna speed through this. I've been watching The Walking Dead. I watched season 7 of The Walking Dead, trying to catch up. What are we on now? Season 9?
I think so.
I watched season 7, and I'm up to I think I watched episode 3 last night of season 8. A lot of fighting going on. A lot of good, a lot of bad. But at the same time,
I think if you're up to the part where the fighting's going on.
Oh man, are they all
shooting like thousands of rounds, but nobody can hit anybody?
There's been so much fighting going on. They pull up in the cars with the armor on the wall, basically the walled armor on them, and the gay guy, the redheaded gay guy dies, and everybody
can hit a fucking thumbtack in a tree from 2 miles away with his revolver.
But they have
put Negan out in the open with a fucking assault rifle and watch them bullets fly.
The best line of the last 5 or 6 episodes was, well, I hope you got your shitting pants on, boy. You're about to shit your pants. And then, I don't know. It's good, but it's like, it's getting to the point where the fighting is just starting to just kind of all run together. They're in all these different places fighting. The Kingdom's fighting people, and Shiva's eating people, and we've lost no man, and just kind of like ready for it to all be over so I can figure out exactly what the fuck has happened.
It gets more mind fucky.
Well,
just wait. You'll be so confused.
Well, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. Probably my least favorite Marvel movie, but I still enjoyed it. It was good. It's more of the same. Probably an unnecessary movie, except for a setup for Endgame. They did a big setup for Endgame on that. It's definitely on a buy, skip it, or stream it scale. That's definitely a stream for me. I watched Tag, which we talked about earlier. That's a stream for me. I watched Black Summer. I watched the first 4 episodes of Black Summer on Netflix. Pascal, you watched that.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I did. It's a zombie.
You didn't talk about it, though.
Yeah.
You didn't talk about it, though, did you?
He did last.
Did you?
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
I just, that I enjoy it.
I liked it, but I had to stop after 4 episodes. Part of it was kind of annoying. it's The Walking Dead told in just just a different way of storytelling. I have to say my favorite part was when this asshole in a van decided to race an asshole in a Dodge Ram, and they both ended up hitting a barrier, and this sweet poor little lady in the back seat of the van went flying through the windshield for about 60 feet in the air, and that was my favorite part of the whole show.
I think both.
And it wasn't
shows,
supposed
like,
to be funny.
I think, like when you combine both shows, you had the perfect show, because I feel like Black Summer does the atmosphere a little better. Like, I don't know, I think they do that a lot better.
That episode
and it's less cliche.
That episode in the school did it for me. They kept running around, hello, yeah. And I was just like, get the fuck out of there and move on. So yeah, The Walking Dead, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I watched Infinity War to gear up for Endgame. Avengers Infinity War was much better than I expected it to be. It was a action-packed fight to the finish from beginning to end on many different fronts, and I think it did exactly what it set out to do in setting you up for the last movie by going, holy shit, we just got our asses kicked. Definitely a buy for me on that. We watched Avengers Endgame, which we've talked about already. That's a buy for me as well, and I wasn't really expecting either one of those to be. And then there's Game of Thrones, which we're going to talk about later, and Children of Men, that we're going to talk about now.
Now.
How
about meow?
Meow. So,
meow?
Who picked this?
I picked
He
this
did.
movie.
Why?
The master of movies.
It's been one of my favorite movies since I saw it in theaters, to be honest.
You went to see it in the theater.
I went and saw this in the theater. Twice, I think, actually.
Wow. All right, well, tell everybody about it.
Children of Men stars Owen. No, what the fuck's that guy's
Clive
name?
Owen.
Clive Owen. I was going to say Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Wow, no.
Wow.
Stars Clive Owen. It is a...
Bye, Pascal.
Why does Pascal always leave us when shit's about to go down?
Hi, Pascal.
Is he actually back?
Oh, he's muted.
Hello?
Back and muted.
He's back and muted. Now he's back and unmuted.
Getting a BJ.
Anyway, that gave me plenty of time to think of the word that I was actually looking for, so that works out for me. Clive Owen stars in this movie. It's a dystopian future where every other nation except for the United Kingdom seems to have fallen to some sort of unrest because, probably inspired by the fact that no one has had children in 27 years or some shit like that. There hasn't been a single pregnancy, which has led the world to 18?
18 question mark? Because he died.
That's how old. Yeah, that's how young that kid was. But it was weird because I was reading the synopsis for it and it said 27. Maybe that was the year. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because I definitely know they were really sad about
the kid who was
the
18.
youngest person dying.
Yeah, who was 18. So yeah, totally possible. But anyway, so the UK has a huge refugee problem from people fleeing all the wars and all these other countries. And Clive Owen used to be an activist. He gets recruited back in by his woman to transport a pregnant girl.
Which you don't find out that she's pregnant for a little while.
No, you don't find out that she's pregnant. They just want his help with something, and then he eventually finds out that she's pregnant and has to get her onto a boat to take her to the Human Project, which is some unknown organization that's supposedly trying to help refugees and the world.
Yeah, so it shows an ugly side to Britain and probably any other country if they would have done it there, about how refugees are no longer welcome. Quit coming to our country, we're going to send you back or kill you or put you in a concentration camp, that sort of thing. And the pregnant girl happens to be one of those people. And so you just think that they're transporting like a refugee, you know? And he's like, why the fuck did you get me involved in this? and then you find out she's pregnant. It's like, whoa.
Shit goes crazy.
Shit gets real.
I love how much the movie portrays almost every group as good and bad. You know, you're like, there's the refugees who, yeah, they're kind of being taken advantage of, but there's a lot of refugees who are in there doing kind of shitty stuff in the camps. There's the government that's doing a lot of bad shit, but you get to see a little bit of them actually trying to hold everything together given the disorder that they're experiencing with all the refugees and everything. You have your activist group that is trying to help the refugees get their rights, but man, do they go about it a real interesting way.
The wrong way. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even Clive Owen himself is initially just in it for the money, is the only reason he's going to help out at all. But I mean, eventually he grows into, and there's a whole bunch of interesting imagery with that too. If you really get down, that's another thing I really like. You can just watch it on the base level of the movie, and it's a good, entertaining movie to watch with an awesome story. But there's a lot of kind of heavy imagery in there that you don't necessarily notice during a first or second watch.
They don't spend time on it. It's there, and it's part of the world, and that's what makes it. That's what makes it more believable, though, because they don't really spend time on it. And then you notice some of the shit that they say on their advertising signs, and you're like, "What the fuck is wrong with this place?"
The quell or whatever it is, the quietus to commit suicide with. The fact that the government's dishing that stuff out because of the hopelessness of not having kids. But even just, I don't know if you guys noticed, there's a whole nature thing built into Clive Owen's character. The dogs and the animals are always around him and happy to see him, where like when they first make it to the first safe house, and the guy's like, he even says, "Oh, the dogs like you." And then it happens again when they make it to the refugee place, the camp. It happens another time with some other animal somewhere in there.
Cat,
yeah. Like again and again, and that carries a little bit of weight with it. You have the fact that he runs around without shoes forever and then puts on sandals in a very Messiah fashion, wears sandals through part of the movie once he makes his change. I don't know. I love this goddamn movie. How about that?
It was a good movie.
When the action pops off.
Oh yeah,
like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, in the end, but also just on the road when they're in the car traveling.
Yes, I thought
they start running down the hill, and you're like, "What's going on right now?
Right, what's going on? I didn't know this movie was gonna make. Holy fuck!"
I even thought about like then when there was this gunshot through the windshield and stuff. I'm like, oh man, is he gonna go John Wick on this shit now? You know, but he didn't. Like, I think they had a good. That's what surprised me out. The whole movie, I thought like, is he gonna go like total badass and start shooting people? But he doesn't. He
never does.
Yeah, he's like kind of like this natural, guy. Like he's like he kind of wants to avoid the conflict and tries to play it out smart to survive in that matter. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool.
How about Michael Caine?
Right? Wasn't his character awesome?
Loved it. So good.
Pull my finger.
Best line of the movie, honestly, twice.
All right, I'll do it.
Pull my finger. Boom. Ah, fuck you.
Pull my other finger. What a badass.
Oh man, yeah, because
there's so many
there's so many times where I was like, I kept like, you get used to so many movies when the shit hits the fan, all of a sudden you have the hero that swoops in and takes care of stuff, and so many times like a body would be laying there and guns laying all around, and he never once picks up one of the guns. Like he's just like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it the sweet way.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, man, it's crazy.
What else? I mean, there was just
holy crap, guys! We're getting raided by
really
Swain Games.
We're getting the Swain raid. The Swain raid from the anniversary stream.
1 year.
1 year.
1 year. Happy anniversary, Swain. Don't throw shit at the fans.
Yeah.
Happy
learn that the hard way. What's going on, fellas? Welcome everybody from the Swain raid.
Apparently, Swain's pitching a tent tonight.
Row.
So, got that shit on cam. Getting booted off Twitch.
Breaking news. Pitching a tent. He only had one pole. And the tent was up.
All right, guys. Well, we're in the middle of discussing Children of Men. Yeah, so continue.
The
Nugget.
homework.
The homework.
I sort of lost like where I was going with anything, but
Never picked up any weapons.
The cinematography was good as well. Like I love some of their like, I just loved a lot of the camera work.
How
Yeah,
the
it looked
camera
like a
moved
war
around
movie.
Yes.
The camera moved around in the car once
Yes.
the shit hit the fan, and then the action
battle
sequence at the end
Yeah.
of the movie, how well
It
it was
was-
shot to be like one seamless cut through the entire thing.
That reminded me a lot
Oh,
of
it
like
gives me the
Black
chills
Hawk
every
Down
time.
or something, or
Mhm.
you know, that was like a whole war movie camera setup. It was like the shot was epic. Like it was probably I don't know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I love it. That movie chokes me up every time too. Like the entire end of it, like
Yeah.
gets me.
Yeah.
Every
I
single
like how they're
time I
like,
watch
oh,
it.
you're gonna have the first kid ever, and you're gonna name it that, and then she ends up picking Dylan. Well, that's a girl's name too, and I'm like, oh fuck, because he's already lost. You could tell there was still so much chemistry between the two of them, and he loses her, and then himself getting shot in the middle of saving the
Mhm.
only child that's been born in, I guess, 18 years.
Crazy.
And it's at the very end too. Like you sort of notice it. Like you could tell he's like limping through, but you just didn't know the extent of it until they get in the boat. And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm bleeding!" And he's like, "No, it's me." It's like, "No, it's been me the whole time." So it's yeah, it was a super fucking good movie. I definitely enjoyed it.
Good.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
love it.
it's definite buy for me. I don't have any complaints about story, cinematography, the music, the way it was made. Top notch film all around, and I had never heard of it before.
That's what I'm here for. I'm bringing you guys the top notch because it's a buy for me. I wouldn't have picked it if it wasn't a buy movie. I don't think. Like if it's something I've seen before, you can be sure I'm gonna put it on the buy it list. Pascal.
I would agree. Buy, yeah. I think like
Yep.
if that's something like I think I didn't even rent it. I think I bought it because it was like $1 more. So I mean I actually own it now digitally though. But yeah, it's something you can rewatch over and over, and I don't think you get bored with it. Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely got to check it out again. I want to watch it again. So it would definitely get a buy from me.
Getting a buy from everybody.
Sweet. All right, well, moving along, we're going to talk about, I think everybody here has seen it, Game of Thrones this season. In particular, the last episode. So I want to start.
If you haven't seen it, you might want to plug your ears for the next.
Yeah, spoilers. So if you're going to cry about spoilers, time to go now. So episode, what was
Yeah,
it?
it's going
Was it the
crazy.
third episode of the season? And winter is here. Winter is upon us. So
And boy, was it a short one.
it was the longest Game of Thrones episodes there
It
has
was
been.
the longest Game of Thrones, but I'm just saying winter came and then man, summer was right on its
I mean,
fucking
I'm
heels.
just like,
You
when I
don't
come-
know that yet.
when
how do
I
we know,
come,
though?
How do we not know that yet?
What happened afterwards?
Huh?
What happened afterwards?
Actually, Wes has a
dragon
point.
hugs.
No, actually, Wes has a point. So I think we already like discussing the thing. Okay, well, we build it up like 8 seasons long or 7 seasons long, and now it's gone, right? But there was this moment where, the fellow, the Night King, looked at Bran, and Bran looked at him, and there was like, this weird thing. And I talked to Wes about this too, like, and I heard this theory before because Bran got marked by the Night King, right? So what if they're more connected? And he actually he ruled the dead, but now he wants to rule the living, and he got into Bran's body, like how Bran can walk.
That's rape at its finest.
I'm just
that's what I
saying,
think.
like, I know people are saying that, like, oh, it came and it went and it ended that quickly. First of all, I feel like it ended when it had to, based on the way that they filmed it and like certain choke points that everyone was reaching. And secondly, just because that motherfucker died and then everybody else appeared to die doesn't mean that there's not going to be something else happen. I don't know that there will, but we don't know that that's the end of their threat.
It feels
I think we can be positive that that's the end of Winter.
Yeah.
But this isn't called the game of the winter coming. This is called the Game of fucking Thrones. This was a side quest on the main quest to get.
Well, then why is everybody bitching about it? Because a lot of people are bitching about it.
Because I think a lot of people are bitching about it, not necessarily because of books. It's more about the whole buildup of the show being the Night King is the biggest threat there is. Forget the man wars, forget the thrones. Like they will destroy you. It's the biggest threat there is. The threat is there for one night and it's gone.
It was there for a long time, but they had a lot of battles before too. I agree. I understand what you're saying, and I agree. And TJ said something to me yesterday or today that made sense. He's like, "Look, motherfucker. Okay, well, so it was a short battle, and the Night King and the White Walkers and shit were a big threat, but it's not called fucking Game of White Walkers. It's called Game of Thrones, and the real battle is for the throne."
And that shit's gonna be nuts, by the way. 20,000 strong mercenary company
against not many people left.
Right.
So is Arya gonna kill Cersei? Because Missandre kind of said brown eyes, blue eyes, and green eyes is Cersei, or green eyes and then blue eyes.
But you gotta think of how many people she's killed along the way.
Yeah, I think she's just making a point.
Yeah.
I don't think she will, because it's expected now. You just turned her into the biggest badass of the whole show at this point. I think
she already was.
She already was.
She already was. But I mean, you just put the nail in the coffin.
And you know that
they don't do that. That's what they're going to do. They want her to be hyped up, so hyped up now that I don't think we get any more out of it.
You know, Gidry stands up, looking over his shoulder, and he's like, I just fucked her.
Still really awkward scene, by the way.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So what do you guys think then is going to happen between Jon Snow and his aunt?
I think he doesn't want the throne. He never liked the title, so I don't think he wants to take that away from her. He still supports her.
He's still a threat.
No,
if I were her, I would view him as a threat to the throne because he's got a claim to it.
In my eyes, she already hinted how she feels about him. She doesn't she makes him not care about the throne. So what I think it is, I don't think there might be some weird tension as it is right now, but I don't think, even the preview that we saw, I don't think that's going to be the issue with like Jon versus Dany. I don't think it will be the case at all.
I think
we'll
a little bit
who
of
will
drama.
survive. I think who will survive out of the two in the battle against Cersei. That's probably should be the question, because I think that her or him, one of them will die. That's what they always said. It's going to be a bittersweet ending, and here's the big love story of the whole show, and there's a bittersweet ending. I mean, that's what I think it will be. I don't think both going to make it alive at all.
I'm with you.
That's what I think. I'm not like, I only read a little bit of the books. As far as I know, he stopped at kind of season 4. He's kind of lazy, the writer of the books. So, I mean, but I don't know. I don't. Wes had a good point on that too. Like the show was separate from the books. It's not a Song of Ice and Fire. It's Game of Thrones again. We go to the title. It's kind of like the Walking Dead comics are based on, and the show is based on the comics, but doesn't really follow it directly 1-to-1. So I think that's the same thing here. But I do believe that Jon. I do think that Jon and Dany are the main two characters of the show, and one of them will die. Arya, you could say like there's a lot of main characters, but I do believe that Jon and Dany have been the most consistent people with story arcs and uncompleted yet. So, because you could consider Arya's almost done, her story arc too, which I would kind of agree with you guys that she will not be the one killing Cersei. Maybe Cersei will not even be killed. Maybe there will be, but say fuck it. I don't know. I'm not a writer. It's just my prediction.
So what do you guys think's gonna happen then?
A lot of people die.
I think
we got a full-on siege battle coming up.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of death.
I think at the end of the day, Cersei's going to win.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And the dragon is going to die. They have a ballista.
They only got one dragon left, right?
I mean, did that one dragon die?
We don't know.
Yeah, you really
dragon's
don't know.
dead.
John's
The
dragon.
Rhaegon,
Rhaegal.
Drogon, and Rhaegal.
Obviously, the other one did. We still don't know what happened to Ghost.
He's alive. He was in a preview. He saw that in a preview for a second. Reddit,
really?
yeah, Reddit went all over it. Yeah, Ghost is alive.
Gotcha. I honestly think it's going to come back to the not Podrick, the other one that banged Arya.
Gendry.
Because he's a Baratheon, right?
Yeah.
I
He's
think
a
it's going to come
bastard.
back to him. I think Jon dies, Khaleesi dies, and Cersei dies, and he takes the throne.
Nah, I don't think so. I disagree. I think Daenerys is going to have Jon's child, and Jon will be dead after he sacrifices himself for him.
Yeah, I thought vice versa, kind of like up with the child, just with that she sacrifices himself because she doesn't need the throne. She just wants him to be alive. Yeah. Kind of goes back to the Sansa speech they had before. That's what I thought, that she's going to sacrifice herself.
Y'all got some weird ass theories.
I definitely don't think Cersei's going to win.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Just playing devil's advocate. He's gone way too far to make her just in every
she
sense.
Always wins. You don't think a bad guy can win the Game of Thrones?
No.
Maybe not on HBO's Game of Thrones. I don't know.
She always wins. I don't know. I think she's lost 3 times.
She's lost 3 times.
She's still up there though. She's still there. So, okay. Problems that people had with the episode, and we were talking about earlier. The just darkness that overcame the field of battle. People have been complaining about it. People have been defending it. I think that they did it that way, obviously on purpose, because it's like a fog of war. That kind of shit's going to happen. I also think it's part of the zombie White Walker kind of magic
strategy. And
I also think that HBO or whoever, the producers, did it because I didn't think their dragon CGI looked very good in this episode.
Their dragon CGI's never looked that good.
I thought they looked better in the past.
It did when Jon touched Drogon. That looked like that was.
But it's not moving.
Yeah, but that's not real move.
I'm talking when they're flying and
dragons
fighting
and
stuff.
that stuff's always looked bad.
Yeah, I mean it's even for.
Yeah, I mean I'm sticking.
It's kind of hard. No, I just thought that was like kind of difficult to make, anyways.
I don't know. I think it's meant to be that way. And I read an article, but I want to speak on what I thought before I read that article, and was, I don't think they want you going one-on-one fights and seeing that, because there's so much going on. They want to make you feel the anxiety of not knowing what the hell's going on around you. There's fucking super chaos.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's taking place at night, so it's going to be dark. And that's where I read in one of the articles from the cinematographer for that episode, who said, we've always tried to give you what it would be like in that time. Like even in the beginning from season 1, when you're in the castle and it's lit by a candle, it was hard to see what was going on.
But see, I didn't feel like I had trouble seeing anything but the dragons fighting when they're flying around through the air. I could see the battle on the ground. Obviously, it wasn't clear, but I felt like I could see what they were trying to show me. With the dragons flying around and fighting and shit, I couldn't tell who was on what, which one was which. I couldn't tell which one was the zombie dragon until it breathed blue fire all over the damn place.
Yeah, but you see, like that's TJ's point again. Like, I mean, look at the dust storm there was, right?
But what I'm saying is they're showing a shot with 2 dragons flying through the sky, and you can't even tell what the fuck's going on them. It just seems wasted.
Debbie Downer, Debbie Downer thinks it was a budget thing. That's how they got cheap away with it. But I do try to believe what TJ said, which the immersion or the immersive factor is there, that you kind of feel, oh shit, like, if I'm on this dragon right now flying through this storm with 0 visibility, this is what I would see. Like,
Yeah,
it would
but
be
and
so
I
much
100%
chaos.
agree
you
with
can
that.
do that, but you can still make it so you can see it. Like
Exactly.
you can still give the feeling of not being able to see without actually not being able
I
to see.
agree that they implemented it for that reason. I just think that they took it to another level and
Yeah.
made it worse to kind of. It's kind of like when they say video games look like they have Vaseline around the edges, where they don't have high details, everything looks blurry at a distance. There's kind of them putting the Vaseline on the dragon so that you couldn't see the
Like the motion
blemishes
blur
or
and
the bad, the bad animations or something, and so. You
Could be,
couldn't
yeah.
see it as well, and they just wrote it off as this is the crazy fog of war, which totally has a place there and should have been there, and I'm fine with it. I just feel like they
just
took
feel
it to a
like
higher level.
Dialed down just a little bit.
I agree.
Like it
I
should
agree.
have
I
been
think
on
they.
a 5 and
I
they
think
took
they
it to
took
a
it.
7.
I think they took it to a higher level just to cover the dragons.
Yeah.
So that's just me. But
See, I read an article from someone who looked at it and said it seems a whole lot like they calibrated it, they edited it to be viewed with better televisions than most of us have.
I wouldn't doubt that.
This coming from a guy who sat in his theater room at his home with a $3,000 OLED TV and said, "Oh, I could see everything there." But if I took it to a regular 1080, just LCD panel, it was washed out and you couldn't see anything. So,
Right.
Especially with
his
the
two
streaming
different-
quality of like HBO
See,
Go.
And
right.
I-
So if you view it in two separate stations like that, and you can actually see the fidelity difference between the two, that makes me think that they maybe just didn't think through what their audience was going to be watching it on. I align more with that guy.
I had to, and I agree with you because that's actually true in a way, because I believe that 100%. Because when I watched it on my on the 4K TV, I watched it a second time, a few scenes just to see, because I read something too with like an OLED, OLED, whatever it's called, OLED TV. And so I put on a different picture mode with super sampling and all the little like movie features you have for like movies on my TV. I could see stuff. Like I could see there were like giants and stuff. Like I could see a lot better than what you could see. So I totally agree with what you said, Zach. That it's 100% believable.
Right? I didn't even know there were more than one giant there. I just read that in an article today that there were giants, and I'm like, what? I saw one giant.
I also think.
Dothraki,
What do you think? Speaking of the Dothraki, what do you think about that little trick that they pulled? That was
with the flaming swords.
They lit the swords, and when they lit the damn swords up, I thought she's gonna light their swords on fire, and then she did. And then before they even started rolling out, I was like, you know what? This is either gonna be really badass, or this is just a visual tool for them to say, look how awesome this is, because we've got a bunch of fucking barbarians with fire swords, and now watch how quickly all those lights go out.
I was so upset I wouldn't even consider myself anywhere close to a scholar of military history.
that was stupid.
But you don't send your light cavalry in to face charge an infantry unit. You don't do that, because that's what's going to happen.
The Unsullied should have went in.
It's just
first,
the entire defense of Winterfell. Let's just talk about how shitty of a job they did there. You put your what? Saw those eyeballs.
Oh no, I'm with you. I agree.
Like your fire trench goes out in front. Then you put your infantry in there behind the fire trench. Then you put your trebuchets and catapults behind that, and then supporting infantry.
Let's just put them all out in front of the trench.
Let's just put them all out in front of the fucking trench, because that sounds like a great idea. Oh, and we know how the dead are gonna climb over these walls. They're just gonna smash into it and climb up it. Let's put 20 archers up there, and then wait until they get there and be like, oh fuck, man, the walls, and it's already too goddamn late. Like, dude, I was so upset by all of it, but I understand that doing it that way gave them an out to end the episode in 80 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if they wouldn't, it would have taken way longer, and it wouldn't have felt as frantic, I guess. But
dude, the trebuchet, the catapult thingies, like, one reason where I lost it, where I felt like what you just said, was when the Dothraki charged and then they shot the freaking catapults right in front of them. I'm like,
they
what?
shoot over.
Here's
They'll
the other
shoot
thing.
over the fight. You're supposed to shoot right behind the front.
I saw
line.
them use those fucking
shoot
things
them-
more when they were practicing than they did in the actual fight.
right.
There was only like 1 or 2 shots and then it was
Yeah,
done.
1 or 2 volleys, and then they
Like,
gave up.
Good job.
Cease fire. They're retreating. We were already shooting over them, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
About
With
that
the
zombie
being pissed-
bridge over the fire trench.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
And if only you had spearmen back there that stabbed the zombies when they came across.
Yeah. The complaints, there was a lot of complaints that like John and like Danny, they didn't really fight the Night King, or John didn't like, but I read in something that kind of opened my eyes on that too, because I'm a John fanboy, always been. Like I just, I think I can relate to him the most. But in a show, like from just how I feel.
I always feel like you're my real life Jon Snow.
Well, but no, the cool thing about it is that I read, and I didn't pay attention because I wanted him to kill the Night King, but hey, he actually fought him on a dragon, and there was one point where people got so upset, which I understand now why I'm not upset about this anymore. It's like the Night King never fought out his own battles. Like John wanted to one-on-one him. Like every time there was a moment that he could one-on-one people, he always held his army. So it was never would have been like that, and John did help in the battle. He did fight the Night King with the dragon. He did help people with his dragon. He did went on I don't know how many like rides he killed on the way to go to Bran. So I mean, I don't know. And he learned a lesson with Sam when he learned, okay, I don't have to save my friends. I have to go see my brother now. I have to go the mission, defend Bran, and left Sam like with the rights there for a minute,
And his fat ass still lived.
Yeah, he did somehow. So I think like a lot of the complaints, like I understand them in a way, but I think for the final judgment of this whole thing, of that episode, we just have to wait how it plays out in the end.
Yeah.
Because there's still
Look what
2 more
happened
episodes.
when he ran the last time for a brother.
Yeah.
Took an arrow to the back.
Yeah.
Okay, and
then
what the fuck is up with Bran? I'm just gonna say it.
It's not Bran
Goes
anymore.
and lets
It's not Bran.
Theon Greyjoy get killed.
What's he
I
supposed
think he's
to
the
do?
fucking Night
It's
King.
all part of the plan.
Dude, he was warging the Night King the entire time.
Yeah.
Warning?
Warging. He was in control. I think he was controlling the Night King the entire time.
In the books, and that's one thing the books did say, there was some like connection with that stuff. With,
I think
the Bran and like Night King.
I think
and,
he's
Well,
the
it
one
makes
that
sense
brought
for
him
him to
in
be-
there. I think he was controlling the Night King the entire time. I think people have been making parallels between the Night King and Bran for a while, wondering what side he's really on. And I think what he did was he was controlling him as best he could and luring him to Bran, to what would ultimately be his murder from behind by Arya. But I think that was all he was doing that entire time, was basically controlling him to get him to that point so that she would kill him.
Okay.
Because he knew that that's how it was going to
down with
happen. I just wish they would talk about it more,
Yeah.
But he's the only one that knows, though. Like Bran's the one that's doing it. No one
Well,
knows. No one
in the
else knows
books,
what he
in the
can
books,
do.
the rest of the Starks can do that shit too. They can take control of their dire wolves.
Yeah. And they never showed it in the show.
So
There was also an interesting theory. I don't know who put it there. I think it was US, which I was mind blown. The Peter Baelish.
oh yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
What if he shows up alive? I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
So
Didn't
How
in the
Peter
books,
Baelish faked his own death.
Didn't the Stark mom, didn't she come back to life in the book?
Yes, as
Yeah,
like a
she got
crazy.
resurrected.
Yeah,
But she was sort of like the uncle, right? Like,
Mm.
did the uncle take place of the mom?
possibly.
Like half White Walker, half still normal?
Yeah, she
The-
was.
in
I
the
forget what they
books-
called her.
The Stark uncle.
Sure.
but-
John died too in the books, but the writer of the books already said he's going to come back, but in a different method than what the show is showing. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. I'm interested in the books once they're finished in like 2050. So
All right, so everybody's on board here though, that they everybody liked the episode.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
like I called Wes right away. I mean, I liked it. I was like, oh my god, I need to talk about it right
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot
on our news scale. I think it's by the script.
Absolutely. Buy it 10. I know.
I told Belinda on that because it was an hour and a half.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I put it up there with being a mini movie, and I felt like with what happened and how they did things, and if you take out whether the darkness was on purpose or not or whatever, you take that part out of it, I felt like that was one of the best fucking episodes of
the
a TV
director.
show I've ever seen.
Freaking director did an amazing job.
And could be a good one of the best mini movies that I've ever seen.
My favorite part was there was about a 10-minute sequence where it had Theon fighting off the walkers. It had Arya running
Across the light.
Dude, did you hear that big boom?
Yeah.
No, I just heard the chain shake.
Yeah.
And train, I guess. Anyway, it had Arya walking around, like running from the zombies. It had Theon Greyjoy fighting the zombies. It was when Jon Snow was trying to get away from the zombie that was clearly chasing him and only him. When it was blowing all the blue fire at him and he was just hiding behind walls and stuff. They had this. There was no dialogue for like 10 minutes. Most of it was in slow motion. Well, I don't want to say slow motion, but it had Tyrion Lannister and
Sansa
holding hands, hiding behind the crypt.
I wanted more out of that.
I think you're going to get more out of that.
They gave her a dagger and she didn't get to use it.
And it was just this real slow one piano and one violin music to the whole thing. And if you didn't notice it, and if it didn't catch your ear while you were watching it, go back and watch it again, because that sequence, along with the music in that sequence, made that episode for me.
I'll agree. I really noticed. I loved Barrick's death.
Who?
Barrick, the flaming sword guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome. I love his on the cross being stabbed
20 times,
holding them all off.
20 times you die,
and then he finally died for real this time.
Yep. After he did what he was here to do.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. I liked it. Can't wait for like the next 3. I'm kind of sad that the show's be over though. To be honest, I know.
Hopefully the resolution will make you not sad.
Yeah.
Swain says shot, guys.
In a year,
that's to Nugget.
We have the Lord of the Rings television show to look forward to.
And the Star Wars Old Republic, same people that make the Game of Thrones. Like some of the same producers.
HBO person they've already killed a spin-off Game of Thrones.
That's fine.
That's HBO, fine. But there's a couple still in the making, so that'll be interesting.
There's a new game in the making as well.
I wouldn't mind the Targaryen's fall to Baratheon. I think that would make an interesting miniseries, just to see the battles and everything.
I agree 100%. All right, so we're done with Game of Thrones?
Yep.
All right. Moving on. You guys got some news. We're short on news, and we need to speed it along anyway. So, Pascal and Zach, I know you have some news for us. And then, am I forgetting something?
I don't know. Look at the list.
No, I think that's it. Pascal and Zach have some news for us. Then, TJ, you got some wacky wild news?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Pascal, hit it off.
On deck.
I found some news about the next
I'm on deck.
Console generations, and I actually have some reliable sources that I know that
some
confirm
personal, reliable sources.
No, I know a guy from Sweden, and he works for Sony, so I have some, but I can't really say a lot. But there was a news article released where the CEO, I think, of the Sony division, Mark Cerny, said, kind of leaked or confirmed some leaks. So the PlayStation 5, for all we know, is that the Xbox has two versions. It's going to be, so I'll just get that out of the way before I go to PlayStation. It will be a Xbox One S kind of like cheaper model, and there will be an Xbox One X more crazier model, I guess, like the overkill for the premium console, right? With the PS5, it will accordingly not be that way. There's only going to be the one PlayStation 5 at launch. It will be pretty damn powerful, kind of like how the jump from PS2 to PS3 or Xbox Classic to 360 was. So it's going to be a huge jump.
Expect that.
The graphics in there should be pretty crazy. It's a powerful graphics card and a powerful GPU. CPU is going to be good. It comes with the SSD and it comes fully 4K supported and ready, full native 4K games with 60 frames per second. And which is crazy, I didn't know that was a thing until I read that, 8K supportive. So I don't think it's going to be 8K native. I think it's going to be the same thing that we see now with the consoles, what they do, like super sampling and stuff and for videos. But I didn't know there was 8K to begin with, by the way, guys. I did not know. I thought 4K.
Don't worry about it, because unless you're willing to drop 12 grand on a TV, you're not getting an 8K TV.
Yeah. So
if you want to, you come to Best Buy. We have them. We have one in stock. You can buy that shit.
A few interesting things that I marked down here from the article was, I mean, yeah, we know they're going to be crazy powerful. How fast it will be? Well, Spider-Man, they ran Spider-Man on it. It takes 15 seconds for loading time right now on the PS4 Pro. With a new PS5, it's going to be 0.8 seconds. So it's not going to be a second that that game is.
I'm just going to say on Xbox One, it takes about 45 seconds for a game of Madden to load. And on my PC, it takes 7.
Yeah. So, I mean, still pretty cool.
Still not
powerful. It will have like new 3D audio stuff, like, which I thought was pretty interesting. And it won't be digital only. It will have discs still. They will still have the Blu-ray format. It will also support backwards compatibility with all PS4 games. So if you buy a PS4 game, you put the disc in, it will work. So then there will be some games that will be on PS4 and PS5, at launch, in the baby stages. And it will have...
I have a question about that.
Yes.
So, like with the Xbox, if there's a game that's released PS4 and PS5, you have a PS5. If you buy the PS4 version, will it run on the PS5?
I'm pretty sure they do that because they used to do that with Battlefield. If you had the Battlefield 4 for 360, for example, and the Xbox One came out, you could upgrade for free.
Okay, well, I just know because TJ let me borrow his Xbox 360 Tomb Raider, and it would not play in the Xbox One.
Oh, that's something with...
that guy's a dick.
It was probably not in the backwards compatible thing, but with PS4, the thing is with the architecture of the new consoles, they set up the 64 x64 structure. It will work like that. It will seamlessly go. Guarantee you that you get a PS4 game, like I give you God of War, you have a PS5, it will work 100%. It will install and work.
What about digital?
Yeah, digital too. Like it says, seemingly all PS4 games, because they're all based on the PS4 architecture. So they will just improve on the PS4 architecture basically with the PS5. The current disc will be supported, and they will have some cloud stuff going on in the future. They are very invested in the cloud stuff too, but they will reveal more on that later. Probably something to counter the Google Strata and whatnot, or Strata, whatever it's called. VR. VR support at launch, fully PlayStation VR support. I believe that they probably have some PS5 VR. They're going to use the technology, the headset they have right now, but kind of improve it with the software they can have. It will have ray tracing natively supported in every game. Again, ray tracing is this cool feature that you need crazy hardware for right now, I guess, for some games.
You do, but it's not that.
I honestly,
it's showing off. Look what we can do, but it's really not that big of a deal.
Here's the thing: everything started as showing off. Look what we can do. Remember the old PlayStation 1 cutscenes? I think
ray tracing is amazing, but it's not practical when it comes to resource management and your games.
I mean, I don't know if I have the same experience.
It's true.
If I have the same experience in a game and my game performance and stuff would not suffer from it, I'll be happy because
Absolutely.
it's nice. Like again, I have the scenario of a shooter. I'm looking at a glass at a storefront. You know, I only hear footsteps now, right? And like, oh, there might be somebody behind me because the thing I don't see like really what's going on. But if I see in the reflection a guy sneaking up on me with this little like knife or gun or whatever tries to hit me, that would be freaking amazing.
Yeah,
like, how immersive does it feel?
And what that is, guys, for people that don't understand or don't know, ray tracing, that's why I'm telling you, Nugget. Basically, it used to be a video card, whatever, would render shadows based on how the game programming told it to, where the shadow goes, what time of day, all that shit. Ray tracing is actually the game capturing individual rays of light from reflections and
in real time.
Yes, in real time. It's all calculated on the fly. And so what you end up with is shadows and reflections on water or reflections from puddles on cars or whatever. And it looks freaking amazing, but it's very taxing on your system. And so you could, say, play Battlefield 5 without ray tracing in 1440p, 60 frames a second, or whatever, but if you want to do ray tracing, you might only get 30 frames a second because they don't support the 60 with the ray tracing. Shit like that, and I would take 60 any day over that.
Right, but here's the thing too with that. We are talking about a super powerful, beefed up console right now that is to PC standards. What a lot of people don't understand is with when you have that powerful of a machine, just like that power, I mean, it is freaking powerful from the specs that I have here, right?
I'm just skeptical because
it's opposite of me. Like
it's an enclosed platform. It will be so optimized because the developers, okay, it's a PS5 game. All right, well, we don't have to, it's a PC game. There's like thousands different hardware sets flying around. We have to optimize it. With console, it's always easier to optimize them. So I think it's going to be easier to implement that, to have it stable, than to optimize it for PC. And that's why I think with NVIDIA, they don't enable ray tracing with every graphics card they ship. And they have like what Zach has now, has it enabled for some games. Now, that kind of weird with Battlefield that they have to do it that way, I guess, with the resolution thing. But I feel like if it's possible to have it not with performance issues, I see what your point is, then it will be on console right now because you have that much power and it's an enclosed platform, which is easier to optimize. From a hardware tech point of view right now, it's going to be easier to optimize that, you know?
So PS5 is a shower, not a grower.
Shower, not a grower.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
I don't know what that means, but it's going to be powerful.
Do you know anything about the Xbox?
The Xbox, I'm pretty sure. The only thing I know about PlayStation, the Xbox is pretty like quiet about them. All about they have like, it's called the Scarlet Project. So like I said, there's the 2 versions coming out. Now, what I think with the Xbox, what I know so far was there's a lot of like cloud stuff going on again, of game streaming, actually, kind of like what PlayStation Now does now, or the Google device going to do. But I think it's going to be the same, if not more powerful. Because here's the reason why. PlayStation 5 is rumored to release in fall of 2020, while the Xbox is supposed to come out in 21. So that will give Microsoft a whole year to stomp Sony's ass with hardware. Now, here's the big issue with Microsoft recently, though. The games. There's so many nice Sony exclusives that I would love for people on Xbox to try.
Crackdown.
And the Xbox has Crackdown, Forza, and Halo. Now, if you want to play that, go ahead. State of Decay, Sea of Thieves. So, I don't know. I would just wish there would be no exclusive with games, but exclusives sell the consoles nowadays. Yep. And I will go wherever the games are, on my friends. So I have to get.
I'll tell you right now, I just got a PS4 this year, PS4 Pro. I did not have the last time I had a PlayStation was a PlayStation 2. I didn't have a PS3, didn't have PS4, got the PS4 Pro. I'm behind on PlayStation exclusives. I do not regret for 1 second getting this PS4 Pro. However, I still don't like its operating system. I don't like its menu layout. I think its store is ass, but it does have the better exclusives, and I love playing them on it. Other than that, I'm an Xbox guy.
There you go.
But I feel like you Xbox people need a PlayStation. But
Definitely.
only
I got
just
two.
for the exclusives. And they're
I went
sitting
out
in
and bought another
boxes.
So, and the other thing was just like the price, $499 to $599. It's not going to be cheaper than $400.
Hell, the damn Xbox One X is $499 right now. So.
Yeah, and I think it's a fair price. I think $500 to $600. I mean, you can save up now.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
you know, just put $20 aside.
All right, what else we got, guys?
What I got is an article, this one written on Kotaku, about a video game developed to detect Alzheimer's disease seems to be working. So this is a virtual reality video game, but I also read a little bit that you might just be able to get it on your phone. There is tests for Android and Apple. It's this game where they give you a map with a couple different points, like checkpoints you need to get through. Then they take your map away, and you have to navigate to these checkpoints. And based on how well you do that, it gives an indicator of whether or not you have this gene that's linked to Alzheimer's.
Well, I only got to level 3 last time.
I don't want to
Do
know
I
if
have
I have
children?
Yeah, but see, I think
It's
do want to
amazing
know if you have it. Like, it's amazing that it
Start
works
working on
because
it now.
they found that people who have this gene go through or have less well optimized routes to get between the checkpoints than the people who don't have the gene. And this helps you detect it significantly before current tests can detect Alzheimer's, because you either have to get the genetic test to do it, or they don't know until you start having memory problems. And at that point, you're already significantly far gone.
See, I know some women that, like, you could give them a clear-cut map on how to get to a place, and no, I'm not being funny. Like, they would totally fuck it up.
Here's the sucking dick.
they would totally fuck it up, and you're like, how do you mess this up?
Yeah, but
I'm saying, you know, maybe this is kind of part of the same thing, because what you're talking about is they map you out a directional path to take, and then they take the map away, and you're kind of clueless about what's going on, then you might have a problem.
I would generally agree with you in that sort of situation, but this is done in a scientific,
Like clinical,
setting,
yeah.
a clinical test setting. So I think that for them to have published anything about it, those sort of correlations would have been eliminated through whatever study process they have.
No, what I'm saying is perhaps the people that have these problems that I'm talking about might have an issue.
Oh yeah, that's totally possible. They do highlight some cool stuff about this, where every 2 minutes that people spend playing this game equates to about 5 hours of actual lab work research, which is kind of crazy. So only 2 minutes. So in whatever way they figured that out, but that means that through the use of this game, they've collected the equivalent of 1,700 years worth of Alzheimer's data research.
Wow. Which
is how I think they can be so certain.
Who's doing this? The name?
It's called Sea Hero Quest is the name of the game. It's a German company, the Dutch telecom game studio Glitchers, along with some European universities. But it's awesome because you can do that, and if you get a bad test, you can get your genetic test done and see if you are positive for that gene. And if you are, you can start taking steps to maybe not prevent yourself from getting Alzheimer's, but possibly delay the onset and then the eventual degradation that you would experience. Because they are starting to find things. I look into Alzheimer's research kind of regularly because I just think it's crazy. But they're starting to come up with some ideas of how you can.
Well, ever since Deborah Logan, I mean.
Right.
Yeah,
Deborah Logan, Castle Rock.
I don't want to eat any little girls. Ate a brownie once.
That's some interesting shit. Do me a favor and post that, if you don't mind, post a link to any of the articles that you have there about that in my Discord, because I want to read about it.
Yeah,
or there too. Yeah, there too.
Anybody else, and then I'll throw it in the Discord channel too.
All right, Nugget, got any wacky wild news to take us home with?
I do. Is there any chance that we want to roll on the next movie pick?
Oh shit!
Or do we want to do that
Oh
last?
shit!
Are we doing
do that
movies? Or are we
last.
doing games? What are
Okay.
we doing?
Oh my God! Yeah,
Confusing.
forgot all about that. 100 plus 10. I like bits. Nightmare Inn with the bits. I will read our weird and wacky news article and blind myself with the white fucking screen. Jesus Christ. Crikey!
Alrighty.
We weren't prepared. We rolling, or you want me to go with this article?
Oh, I don't. Someone make a decision.
Go with the article, then we'll roll.
All right. So, babysitter was babysitting children and heard someone breaking into the house. So the title of it is "Police Stormed Bathroom with Guns Drawn to Catch a Burglar." So I'll read out the article to you guys. So, pounding noises kept coming from the bathroom in a suburban home outside of Portland, Oregon. Cops had surrounded the door, and a trained canine panted nearby. The officers unholstered their guns, shouted that they were the police, and demanded the burglary suspect hold up inside and let them in. No response, just more banging, more prowling. Probably at this point, the police decided the intruder was trying to force open a window and run away. All at once, the cops burst in, ready to fire. Then they saw it. The little Roomba robot vacuum, stuck in a corner, slamming repeatedly into the shower door. Oh, man. They went in guns drawn for
So why did they think they were being robbed?
Because it was the sitter just heard loud noises in the bathroom. And,
God.
There's
somebody in here. They're in my bathroom.
Yeah,
Wow.
so the deputies convulsed, and it's one of America's first brushes with the robot versus law enforcement conflict. Thankfully, it ended without violence.
Peaceful. We can all find
peaceful,
peace, guys. You just do what the police tell you. Hopefully.
Or not. I mean,
or if you just keep beating up against the shower.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's roll. See who's picking what, when, huh?
We got Wes and TJ left, right? Because Pascal already went with It Follows. I went with Children of Men. All right. TJ, you're 1 through 3. Wes, you're 4 through 6. Let the fates decide. We got a 3. That is TJ.
That's me. So I am going to pick Train to Busan. It is on Netflix.
Oh, I just watched that.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Nice.
This shit.
It was on a list that I saw probably a year ago of one of like a foreign
South Korean zombie apocalypse action
thriller. Supposed to be
I
really good.
that.
It's actually, I watched it. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Hey,
it's pretty good.
It's got 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's pretty good, man.
So there you go, guys. Anybody left in chat and anybody listening to the podcast, do your homework.
Guys, yeah, it's homework time. Look, I am sick and tired of you people in the chat.
Sick and tired.
No, I'm just kidding. No, guys in the chat, look. It's your homework. It's our homework. It's your homework too. You need to watch this movie so you can weigh in next week when we have an in-depth discussion about it, okay? We're shortening our movie talk, our TV talk, except for Game of Thrones, to 2 or 3 sentences per movie and moving on, but we're going to have in-depth discussions about these movies that we all watch. Train to Busan is next week's homework. It's on Netflix. Did you say Netflix?
Yep.
It's on Netflix. It's a South Korean zombie apocalypse thriller. What the fuck more do you want? Watch it, and then come back and talk to us about it, okay? Swain, watch it. Kooky, watch it. Come on, bro. Shit.
Big Shy, I know you're lurking around here somewhere because you always are. Watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think Big Shy's done his homework for most.
He has.
I the shit out of him last time. I told him I wouldn't play any more video games with him if he didn't watch Children of Men.
You see this? This won't get chugged anymore if there's no watching.
Swain, that's for you. All right, guys. Well, anybody got anything else?
We're donezo.
We're donezo.
Unless we're picking a monthly game.
Next week.
We haven't discussed that yet. Next week.
I think we're alternating or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I don't know.
Not tonight. What is the god of
Not tonight.
what does the god of whatever say to death?
Not today.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by. Thank you, Swain, for the humongous raid. It was amazing.
Great.
And shout out to Swain Games. Tonight is his 1-year affiliate versary. And he's going to be pushing hard for that partner over the next year or so. And we all want everyone to help get him there because he deserves it. So, yeah. Other than that, guys, we'll see you all next Tuesday, 10 p.m. or so. Gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with me. Chat, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate you all. We will see you all next week. Anybody got anything to say?
How are you?
That sums it up.
iHeartRadio.
Bye.